as you say, at over 190 miles an hour, and during the race we're going to see some fine shots from that camera. It's quite interesting the way NASCAR do this green and yellow business. They're just allowed to go out there, go quite fast, but of course they're not allowed to change positions at all until they get the full green, which should be 10 laps into this race.
One of the circumstances which viewers should be made aware of now is the fact that all the inside of the track, that safety apron, is extremely wet, so if a car slides off, it's going to take off like on a skating rink. Let's go to Brock Yates in the pits. There's the word, light goes green. Then Gazera drops the green flag and the field hurdles into turn number 1.
Late model sportsman race seen live here on ESPN was Jeff Bodine's brother Brett. He would certainly like to emulate that. You can get about 160, 170 laps of race. And by the way, you see the green flag is out. This race is officially underway. We will run the first couple of laps under a yellow flag condition, but we are officially now started. You can get about 160, 170 points for winning a race. Now, there are several nuances, and maybe we'll get into that a little later. But just to give you an idea, Waltrip is 143 behind Elliott. Neil Bonnet is 286 behind in third spot. Harry Gant is 331. Jeff Bodine is 352. And Kyle Petty in sixth is 386. So mathematically speaking at this point, those are the only 6 guys it looks like they have a chance. Jack Arute. Doesn't happen all that often that there's a false start in Grand National Racing, but it is possible. Let's watch this carefully now. The pace car looking towards pit road. It darts down. It looks like the field is under control of Dale Earnhardt. Harold Kinder lifts the field over. The green flag is out.
The Hooters to help him out for one race because Lord only knows Kulwicki needs it. He owns his own team, has his own racing shop, pays all of his own bills.
We saw Rusty signal to the car behind him. Look, we're still on the caution flag. Don't be accelerating by me.
Now you see the twin flags come out. The green is telling the crews and the spotters that we are now counting laps. The yellow tells the drivers, don't speed up, stay right in your position. We got a ways before we actually get this racetrack cleaned up. Doyle Ford and Jack Steele keeping track of the field from the starter's stand here. So they continue to maneuver around this track, and the hope is that only about 5 laps, and they may be dry enough to run.
Now, Paul, often the NASCAR officials go around and talk to the crew chiefs because the crew chiefs will talk to the drivers to find out what shape the track is in because they really don't want the drivers to start until they feel it's safe. Now, keep in mind one thing. The pits are not dry. Anybody that has to come in the pits early, they know they really have to be careful because there's still puddles in the pits even though the track is half dry.
And we take a look on board with Rusty Wallace there, looking up to the front row. And hopefully we'll be racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway very shortly. Stay with us. And to this point in time, they've been scored in their qualifying order, and that's given the advantage to Alan Kulwicki.
Paul, keep in mind, these are all professional guys. They're the best in the world. They're going to be a little bit careful at the start. We don't expect anything bad from it because they've done this before. It rains in the South down here.
They move up into turn 3 here. You can see there's a great deal of dampness there. Not necessarily wet, but damp. The entire pit road has some moisture still on it, as does the inside of the front straightaway. But the pace car has begun to pick up the pace just a little bit. The field goes under the control of Alan Kulwicki. And Brett Bodine sits alongside as the rest of the field begins now to close up. They look to the starting stand. The fans all come to their feet. They're ready for a race, and so are we. As the green flag flies, lap number 7 is underway.
700 RPM. The pace car is running 35 miles an hour. I would guess he's in, what, second or third gear?
Probably second, wouldn't you say, buddy?
Yeah, he's in second.
Second gear. And they do that at that speed to show them what speed they'll need to come down pit road at. There is the combined green and yellow from Doyle Ford on the flag stand. So we are now counting laps, and the pace car will pick up speed to 85 miles an hour. They will stay double file to get some heat in this surface and also get a little bit of wear up into that upper groove.
Get the debris off the tires so they'll be clean for the start.
And that's what we'll get this time as the field is in turn 3. Brett Bodine and Mark Martin on the front row. The Walter brothers in row 2.
I think we'll see the biggest shuffle to the inside lane we've ever seen. Everybody trying to go inside.
Coming up slow out of turn 4, and now at full throttle through the gears. And a very appreciative crowd here sees this race get the green. Brett Bodine jumps out with the lead, and Mark Martin drops right in second spot. 4. Yellow flag is remaining out, but so is the green. There is the start. Not quite as exciting as we had hoped it would be, but there is the official start of the Goodies 500. The laps are now being counted. 500 to go.
We'll get that started here in a little while. That
Yeah, we will.
We'll get you normally get when you barrel into turn one.
Lap one on the caution flag. We don't see that many times in Western Cup racing. Thank goodness.
The positions aren't going to change, and I don't know whether we've ever done this before in the history of ESPN televising NASCAR races, but we're going to take a break on lap number 1. The green is out. They're not going to change position, folks. Still under caution, but the Goodies 500 from Martinsville is finally underway.
Most of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Goodies 500 is officially underway. The green flag comes out. We are racing at Martinsville at 2:30 Eastern Time on a Monday afternoon. Here we go.
I'll tell you, this is the best thing could happen. They tried drying it with safety equipment, and you can do that for 3 hours. You stick this many race cars out there, get the heat in these cars and on that racetrack, and it won't take just a few laps to get this track dried off.
That's Brett Bodine's car, the yellow number 26. And now they're being given a green-yellow condition. So the race has officially started. Laps are being counted. But they are behind the pace car as they would be on a caution lap. They'll lined up double file in their original starting positions. They don't go to single file. And after a few laps of this to make sure the track is fully dry, as you see they come down here into turn 1, and when they drop the green, that's an area you really want to be dry. Then we'll be ready to go green flag racing. So while we're under this green-yellow situation here at Watkins Glen, New York, they have started the Phase 150. We'll be right back.
Yes. Several of them have rumbled over it in the last day or two.
And here, turn 11, the final corner. And there's the rumble strip there. Now, they actually use that as a track out point coming out of that corner from our speed shot, which I think his position could be in jeopardy today. Green flag. And the Phase 150 gets the green with 5 laps complete. Irvin down into turn number 1. Elliott right with him. As they jump on the brakes, it's going to be a little damp in that inside lane there.
You can see at the top of the track, at least, we do have some gray showing and the track is dry, but they're going to continue to dry the track and pit road before we get the green flag and racing. We will have a yellow and green condition as they come around this time.
I think that's exactly the problem we have right now is pit road where the cars were lined up in stage. That is very, very wet. NASCAR needs to get some of that water off before we can go. There we see them with the brush trying to get some of that water off before we can go green flag racing.
There is the green and the yellow. Say they'll now begin to count the 367 laps. Thank you, sir. It's all right. We are back at Darlington, and here comes the real green flag. We are racing on lap number 6. Finally, the Mountain Dew Southern 500 is on in a 3-hour rain delay.
Randy, for a lot of guys who don't understand what equalize, that means there's an outer tire and an inner tire, and you run 20 pounds more in that inner tire. If you got 30 pounds outside, the inner tire has like 50 pounds. So that thing right there would have shook him out of the seat. It tears the car up and running like that.
Mike, when that thing equalizes, that tire starts hopping, it'll knock the windshield out of the car. It vibrates so bad.
There's a look at Mike Wallace, who takes this green-yellow flag in 20th position. Still behind the safety car, running at reduced speed. But they have started the race here at Dover. After a few laps of this, they'll get a look at the racetrack, talk to the drivers, see if the track is in condition to go full green.
This weather, they're ready to see this thing get going.
Elmo Langley brings the pace car, Pontiac Trans Am, down to pit road, and here they come. Green is on. And finally, we're racing at Dover Downs this afternoon. One car brushed against the wall in the front straightaway there.
Cars actually spun in qualifying. You don't see that very often, but you really got to go after it to set up front on a track this size.
They're going to start counting laps this time by. They've refueled the cars. They're going to run a couple of green-yellow laps to make sure the track. You can see the gray in the asphalt in the left-hand 2 lanes where the cars usually run here. And it's still quite damp down there at the apron of the racetrack. NASCAR's not too concerned with that. They want to make sure that they have a couple of good raceable grooves. And the upper lanes are dry. So they have counted laps under a green-yellow situation. This will be the first lap of the race, and Nemechek will be credited with leading it. and we'll be set to go. Neil says you either hit it or miss it here, and he's right. Let's show you the fellows who missed it. They'll complete 4 laps this time and face the green flag here at Martinsville, Virginia. 300 laps of Busch Grand National Racing live on the network that brings you more Busch racing than everybody else combined, the Nashville Network. Green flag. Joe Nemechek hauls them down into turn number 1. He's got Ernie Irvan right on his bumper. And from the flag stand, Doyle Ford puts out the green and yellow flag. That indicates that laps have begun to count here. And so, as they are now officially under a race caution situation, and you see the gray in the track as it is drying up quite a bit, we'll take this pause from Pocono and be right back.
Boy, oh boy, this is the most exciting part of the race to me. When they get ready to throw this green flag, everybody there is really anticipating what they're going to do, how they're going to run.
And you're sitting next to me, and I see your foot go to the floor.
Yeah, always. Left foot jumps a little.
Let's get at it. Green flag, and we're racing at Pocono. No passing to the start and finish line, but the field is fanned out quite a bit here as they head to turn 1. Look at Jimmy Spencer way on the right side of the screen. Jeff Burton.
Racing. The drivers, the teams, the fans, everybody has been real patient here. Let's see what they do as the pace car comes around and the yellow flag is hung out. We are underway here at Nazareth, Pennsylvania, but we are under a green-yellow condition. Pace car stays on the speedway to lead the field around. So at 13 laps of 200 complete, we're set to go racing this time by single file start.
I would be right now if I was in one of these trucks. I get a handful of seat belt, pull them down, and get ready. And here they come.
Green flag, and look at Ron Hornaday on the outside of Jack Sprague.
After running 12 laps as they come back to the line, 31 miles in a green and yellow condition, all cars holding position unless they came on pit road. We're just about ready to go racing in the 28th annual Talladega Die Hard 500. Field is approaching turn 4. There you see them lined up 42 strong, ready for a start. How do you feel right now, Buddy Baker, as you get down to pay time?
This is about the time your left knee's jumping a little bit. You're getting all ready. You're looking at the gauges, getting ready for the green flag to come out. Elmo Langley brings the pace car down pit road, and they start down through the tri-oval to take the green flag.
Noel Dawson, the youngster from California, just 13, gets the dream job, turning them loose for the Die Hard 500. Green flag about to come out, and we're ready to go full racing at Talladega on the 2.6-mile track.
Spotter, he felt like it was important for him safety-wise to make sure he could hear the spotter, so he gave up 12th position on the racetrack and came down pit road to exchange the radio and the earplugs to his helmet. That's a very brave call for a young driver who's got kind of a race-to-race sponsorship deal that they're looking to try and solidify here today.
Ken, that's a brave call, but that's a smart call. You don't want to be without radio communication at no racetrack, but especially at a short track like this where the traffic is so tight, racetrack's wet, a lot of action going to be happening. So that was a smart move, I think, on that race team.
That's an old sponsor name on that number 31 of Roper. Bendix, remember the old Bendix Air races?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Short track racing, the second one of the season here on TBS. The trucks will move on to Odessa, Missouri. Then they're going on the road course at Watkins Glen, New York. Then down to Texas in early June. I think it's June the 5th. They're back there on that mile and a half. That's going to be some show. All right, pace truck is coming down, and we may see it pull in here. And we get ready to go green after 3 laps of caution.
Get ready. Get ready. It's going. Go, go, go.
And the go, 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 that front row, they went.
Easter, of course, a time of peace and quiet. Well, that's tomorrow. Today, it's time to go to war. Round number 3 is about to start, but we should point out it is going to start under a yellow caution flag because the track is still a little bit damp. We've got some weepers up in turn 3 and 4, Benny.
And these race trucks, as you go around the surface, these exhaust systems about 1,000 degrees, and there's 30 of those trucks up there. It shouldn't take but just a few laps to get this racing surface ready for green flag racing.
To come to their feet, they now realize that the pace truck is slowing this field down to about 30 miles an hour, and that's about the slowest you're going to see these trucks go all day long. Through turn 4, Everyone now on their feet. Pace truck speeds up. He's pulling off to the side. $100,000 at stake for 4 drivers. All important championship points. And round 3 at Evergreen.